Hello and welcome to another update video about DOT. You can see on the chart that DOT chart, it reacted currently to the micro support region here that I communicated yesterday. And maybe we're starting the C wave to the upside from here. At least this potential is definitely something I'm going to observe and follow, especially as long as we're holding yesterday's swing low that formed here at around $6.91. So remember that I'm tracking here the yellow wave count as a bullish potential, and I gave you the relevant support region that needs to hold for the price actually to, well, keep that potential alive. And in this yellow scenario, the idea would be that the wave 2 already bottomed on the 13th of April, and that we're now moving up in this kind of 5-wave pattern to the upside. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 would be an extended one with this A wave having topped on the 21st of May. B wave, maybe that's already the B, but it's quite shallow. So I will not rule out that we revisit the micro support region. This is only about the micro support region, a really small, really small wave degree. So it could just sort of test this a little lower again. That wouldn't be bearish. It would just mean an extended B wave, and the B wave isn't finished yet. But possible that this B wave in wave 3 is finished, and if we now break out above the recent high at $7.77, then this could indicate that we are on our way to $8.78 next, the ideal C wave target of the third wave, maybe even higher. Depends a little bit on where the B wave bottoms, but the third wave would ideally get to $8.78. And then if we get in 5 waves to $9.37 or higher, then the low was likely in, talking about the low here on the 13th of April. From there, if we get these 5 waves up, I mean, that's really what we need to see to be directly bullish, to confirm that the wave 2 bottomed here. You can't confirm it actually before. And then an ABC structure would happen afterwards, and I call that a wave 1, I call that a wave 2, and then we can move up from there. So this is quite important to watch for this 5-wave pattern, because unless we get 5 waves, there's just no low in place. Yeah, there's just no low in place. There's just no confirmation that we've bottomed. And therefore, we just need to remain very, very flexible until we get these 5 waves. We can follow it, and I will give you the relevant support levels to understand when the chart might deviate, or if the chart deviates from that yellow pathway, which is the ideal bullish roadmap. But yeah, it's all based on diagonal patterns, and at the moment there are plenty of them in the crypto sector. They tell us that situation is rather unclear, that things could easily still break down, and that's precisely what we see on these charts. There are attempted rallies, it comes down again, and that's exactly what Elliott Wave has been telling us, that the situation is rather unclear. So maybe no aggressive trading, that's sort of what comes out of that as practical maybe tips, or actionable advice. So again, we need those 5 waves for a clear setup. At the moment, I've got this as a support region here, maybe to indicate the start of the wave C. As long as this is holding between $6.40 and $7.07, then this is a potential. Now, if we break below $6.40, that's when the floor starts to crack, and it would indicate that we're actually forming a larger wave 2, that this here was maybe just a B wave rally. Quite a weak B wave, so even the B wave could go higher. So I will track that just as a B wave as we go higher until we get 5 waves. So that's the difficulty at the moment. And then if we break below 640, it would indicate that we're heading down already in wave C. That would bear the risk, however, that the wave C is running out of space. And I would then observe the 566 level as next support, and maybe $4.62. Ideally, it doesn't break below 462. That would be quite bearish short term, and it would question the overall assumption on this chart that this is actually a wave 2 correction. Because looking at the big picture, the idea is that we have 5 waves up in a wave 1, and then it would be a pullback here, a 3-wave corrective pullback with a very protracted bear flag here. You could call that a bear flag, but doesn't mean it has to break down. I've seen it so many times that these crypto charts start from very, very ugly structures and bottoming structures. Wouldn't be the first time, and therefore I definitely want to keep the door open for higher. I'm not in a position to say we'll definitely form another low. I mean, we're all learning, right? But I can tell you that I've seen it so many times in crypto where these have been rallying from from ugly structures. So I just want to keep it there as a possibility as long as support levels hold, but have to highlight that obviously looking at it, I just don't have that clear setup from here in the short term. Bear in mind, the yellow box is actually a 1-2 setup. So that's just when we zoom out, it's this entire box that can provide a jump off point for a larger degree third wave rally. Yeah, that's my update about DOT. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.